The myth of Thanatos and Sisyphus, when death becomes delayed but never denied. Now Thanatos was known as the god who comes softly. In Greek mythology, he is the god of death, not the ruler of the underworld, not the judge of the souls, but he is the moment that life releases its hold. Born of Nyx, the goddess of the night, Thanatos moves without shadow or spectacle. He has no hunger, no malice, no pleasure in his tasks. Where others rage or bargain, he simply arrives. And thus the Greeks have given him the name, the Gentle One. When Thanatos comes, breath slows, pain loses its grip, the body understands before the mind does that the time has come to stop resisting. He does not rush, he does not linger. He closes the distance between life and what follows as quietly as sleep. He moves without sound, without warning, and he does not miss. Enter a king who sees the end coming. Sisyphus, king of Corinth, is not a great warrior or a favorite son of the gods, but he survives by cleverness sharpened into instinct. He listens too closely. He notices patterns others dismiss. He is a man who lives by staying one step ahead of consequence. And at this time, consequence speaks very clearly. An oracle tells him the truth without poetry. His time is near. His thread has been measured, and death is already on its way. And Sisyphus believes this because he has learned that the gods rarely lie. They simply allow you time enough to decide how badly you want to resist. The deathbed. Soon Sisyphus falls ill. His strength leaves him gradually, not violently. He takes to his bed and waits, surrounded by the quiet room that already feels less real. His breath grows shallow, his hands tremble. He knows the sign, and he knows who will come. And so Sisyphus, as always, is prepared. He ordered chains brought to him, fine ones, expertly forged, riddled with magical energy. He studied them as his body studies weakness, rehearsing the moment that he would activate these very special chains. This was not going to be a fight with death, but it was going to be a delay, because Sisyphus had decided that when Thanatos arrives, that he will not go quietly, and thus he is ready. The arrival. Thanatos comes as he always does, not with the sound, not with force, but with a change in the air. The room grows still, not abruptly, but as if the world itself was deciding to stop fidgeting. Shadows soften along the walls. The light dims without fading, settling into quiet, even glow. Harsh edges lose definition. Nothing flickers, nothing strains. Breath slows. The air cools just enough to be noticed. Not cold, not warm, but balanced. Pain loosens its grip. The body, even before the mind understands it, begins to rest. Thanatos does not announce himself. He does not open doors or cross thresholds in the ways that others do. One moment, the space is occupied only by the living. The next, it is shared with a divine creature. He stands at the bedside, unarmed, unhurried, but always certain. His presence does not demand surrender. It invites it. Time feels different near him, not stopped, but resolved. The future loses its urgency. The past releases its weight. There is only this moment, held gently, waiting for resistance to simply fade. This is how death arrives when it is not violent. It is quiet, complete, inevitable. And Sisyphus, watching from his bed, feels the world settle into stillness and smiles. The capture of Thanatos. For a long moment, nothing happens. Thanatos stands at the bed, as he always does, waiting for the final loosening, the breath that does not return, that will no longer cling to things. He never needed to hurry. Mortals always reach the same end on their own. And Sisyphus watches him carefully, but not with fear, with close attention. His body is weak, His breath is shallow, but his mind is awake, moving quietly beneath the stillness of the room. He feels the calm pressing in, the invitation to let go, and it would be easy to accept, easier than anything he has ever done. And yet, Sisyphus speaks. Not loudly, not urgently. His voice barely disturbs the air. "You come gently," he said. "I did not expect that." Thanatos does not answer at all at first. He doesn't need to. But neither does he stop Sisyphus from speaking. Words, after all, cannot delay death. "They say you bind the living," Sisyphus continues, gesturing weakly towards the chains laying carefully beside the bed. "That when your work is finished, no one resists you." Thanatos turns his gaze, not sharply, not suspiciously, but with mild attention one gives to curiosity. "These," Sisyphus says softly, lifting the chains with trembling hands, "are well made, strong and precise. I would understand your work better if I could see how they were used." Thanatos hesitates, not because he is wary, but because he has never been asked. He steps closer, reaches out, and demonstrates, patiently, gently, without urgency. These chains close, smooth and certain, just as they have countless times before. Only this time, they close on him. The room does not explode in chaos. There is no thunder, no scream, no resistance. Thanatos looks down at the chains, then back to Sisyphus, and for the first time, death does not move forward. For the first time, the moment does not complete itself. Sisyphus exhales, a breath he should not have taken. Death has been delayed. The world without an ending. The stillness does not leave the room, but still it spreads. Across the world, something falters. Blades strike flesh and do not finish their work. The wounded linger, unable to cross the threshold. The old remains suspended in pain, waiting for a release that does not come. Battles rage endlessly. Suffering stretches without resolution. Life without death does not become precious. It can become unbearable. And Thanos stands bound, silent, neither struggling nor pleading. He does not rage. Rage would change nothing. He waits, because waiting is also part of his nature. And then the gods begin to notice. Ares frees Thanatos. The world begins to rot from the inside. Wounds do not close, and they do not end. Blood spills without release. Warriors fall and rise again, screaming, locked inside bodies that refuse to finish dying. Battlefields stretch on endlessly, victories never concluding, losses never settling. War becomes noise without resolution. And the god Ares sees it all, because this is his domain, not death, but ending through violence. And without death, even war is meaningless. And Ares descends to earth, not with patience, but with force. Where he arrives, the air tears, the ground shakes. Order does not soften, it breaks. He does not announce himself. He does not ask questions. He goes where the imbalance points him, and he finds Thanatos bound. The god of death stands silent in chains, unchained, uncomplaining. He has waited because waiting is what he does. Ares does not speak to Sisyphus. He does not scold. He does not threaten. He simply shatters the chains. Metal screams as it breaks. The stillness collapses. The air rushes back into motion as if it were released from a held breath. And Thanatos steps free. The room itself exhales, and without a word, death resumes. Across the world, screams cut out. Wounds close by finishing. The old finally find rest. Battles end, not because peace has arrived, but because conclusion has. Thanatos does not thank Ares. He does not linger, he simply continues. And in that moment, Sisyphus is taken. The second defiance. Sisyphus is taken, but not humbled. Even as Thanatos leads him away, his mind is already moving, measuring, listening, searching for the next scene in the order of things. He has already delayed death once. He has tasted the power of interruption, and he believes that he can do it again. Before his final breath leaves him, Sisyphus gives his wife careful instructions. No rites, no burial, no offerings to the gods. His body is to be left unhonored, unmarked, and incomplete. It is a small act of defiance, almost invisible, but Sisyphus understands the system well enough to know that the system is dependent on completion. A complaint in the underworld. In the realm below, Sisyphus does not scream or rage. He simply complains. He approaches Persephone, queen of the dead, not as a rebel, but as a wronged man. His voice is measured, his posture is respectful. I have been abandoned, he says, denied the rights that seal a life properly. I have been sent here dishonored. And Persephone listens, not because she is easily moved, but because the complaint is valid. The dead are owed their rights. Others depend on it. She grants him permission to return, to correct the failure, to ensure that what must be done is properly done. She gives him a temporary mercy. Sisyphus returns to the living world, and then he does not go back. He resumes his life as if nothing has changed. He walks under the sun, he eats, he laughs, he delays, stretching time thin, pretending ignorance. Days pass, and then years, and the gods watch. This is no longer cleverness, this is flat out contempt. When Sisyphus is finally taken. It does not happen suddenly. There is no thunder, no gods descending in fury, no hands reaching from the shadows. One morning, Sisyphus wakes and feels something different. The air is heavier, not hostile, just final. The sun rises but does not warm him. Food has lost its taste. Voices reach his ears a moment too late, as if the world has begun to move on without him. For the first time since his return, Sisyphus feels behind. He walks the halls of his palace and notices how small they feel, how familiar, how finished. He looks at the faces around him and realizes that none of them are looking back in the same way. Time has been moving, and he has not. And then he understands, not with fear, with clarity. There are no tricks left. Thanatos comes again, not bound, not delayed. He arrives as always, gently, precisely, without urgency. The room settles, the edges soften, and breath slows. And this time, Sisyphus does not smile. Thanatos does not accuse him. He does not remind him of past defiance. He simply stands, patient as ever, waiting for the moment to complete itself. Sisyphus looks at him and knows, finally, that this visitation is not a negotiation. He has already spent every allowance. The walk back. There is no struggle. Sisyphus rises where he stands and follows, not because he has accepted death, but because resistance has lost its shape. The clever paths have closed. The seams he once pried open are gone. As they move, the world begins to thin. Sounds dull. Colors flatten. Distances shorten. The living realm does not mourn him loudly. It simply releases him. And for the first time, Sisyphus feels something unfamiliar. Before the judgment. When he is brought before the gods, they do not shout. There is no anger in their voices, no need for it. What Sisyphus has done is already complete. That record is closed. They look at him not as an enemy, not as a hero, but as a man who mistook delay for victory, and they decide his fate without cruelty, without passion, and without precision. The stone. The stone waits at the base of the hill. It is larger than Sisyphus suspected, but not impossibly so, but undeniably real. Its surface is rough, unyielding, cold even in the dim light of the underworld. It does not glow, it does not hum with magic, it offers no hint of meaning. Just wait. The hill rises before him, long and bare, its slope neither cruel nor forgiving. There is no summit in sight, only the knowledge that one exists. Sisyphus stands there for a moment longer than needed. He studies the incline, he measures the angle. Old habits surface. Somewhere in his mind, calculations begin to form. Pace, leverage, breath. He's still looking for the how. and then he places his hands against the stone. The first push is awkward. His footing slips slightly. The stone resists, not violently, but stubbornly, as if it had never known movement and sees no reason to learn it. His muscles strain. Breath tightens in his chest. Slowly, the stone begins to roll. For the first time since his final descent, Sisyphus feels effort again. Not pain, not punishment, but effort. The stone moves upward, inch by inch. The sound it makes against the ground is dull and constant, a low scrape which fills the silence. There is no audience, no God's watch, no voice offers commentary. It is just him, the stone, and the hill. And for a moment, a dangerous moment, hope stirs. Progress is made. He adjusts his grip. He finds a rhythm. His steps become more confident. The slope steepens, but he adapts. This is work, and work he understands, work that rewards persistence. Perhaps he thinks this is not endless. Perhaps there is an end after all. Then the summit comes into view, and with it the truth. As the stone reaches the crest, its weight shifts, not dramatically, not violently, just enough. His hands lose purchase, his footing falters, the stone pauses, and then it rolls back. Not fast, not angry, but it returns with certainty. Sisyphus watches it descend, feeling the effort drain out of his body as sound fades down the hill. The ground trembles faintly when he reaches the bottom, settling into place, exactly where it began. Silence returns. Sisyphus does not cry out. He does not curse the gods. He stands at the top of the hill, breathing hard, staring at the empty slope before him. This is when he understands, not that the task is difficult, but that it is perfectly designed. Every push feels like progress. Every failure will erase nothing but effort. Every ascent will teach him that movement is not the same as arrival. The punishment is not the stone, it is the repetition. And after the long moment, Sisyphus returns. He walks back down the hill. He places his hands on the stone again and again, as will be his fate. Epilogue. The hill remains, the stone remains. Time passes, though it no longer matters. Sisyphus pushes, the stone rolls back. The pattern continues unbroken. Above him, the world of living moves on without any notice. Seasons change, cities rise and fall, names are spoken once, then forgotten. None of it reaches the slope where he works, and yet there's no screaming here, no punishment renewed with each ascent, no voice counting failures, only motion, only breath, only the quiet weight of effort repeated until it loses urgencies. Thanatos does not return to watch. The gods do not observe. They have finished. Sisyphus pushes because the hill is there. He pushes because the stone waits. He pushes because pushing is all that remains. And something between the beginning and the end of the climb, the mind grows quiet. The thought loosens. Resistance fades in a rhythm. Not peace, but stillness. The stone rolls, the hill endures, and the story, like this task, does not end. It simply continues.